So Word documents are a bit easier to work with than Excel. So to install this, you'll need to do pip install or pip3 install python docx -docx. And hopefully this doesn't give me an error or something. I've already got it, it says, okay, and Python. Now here's the thing, when you do this, you import docx as opposed to python -docx. Okay, that's how you, and then this will enable you to work with Word documents, which aren't so hard because you could always just Control A and Control C and Control V, right, to text out. Right, but these work with docx files, which again are binary files like Excel, right? These are Word files. So the way that so plain text has basically no structure, and Word documents live and die by structure. They have headings, they have paragraphs, they have all sorts of styles and stuff. There's a lot of structure in them. So the way Python the Python library interprets this one is that a Word document has a document. It represents the entire document, and it has a document split into paragraphs, and then those paragraphs are split into not sentences but what we call runs, which are a bunch of strings that have the same style. So a plain paragraph with some is a run, bold is a run by itself, and some italic, right? When you change the styling of the text, that's when you end a run, right? So a run is as long as it needs to be. So the text in a Word document, it's not just text like the strings have, because text in a Word document, it's not just a string. It has font, right? I'm sure you've basically you have played the wasting 15-minute game by figuring out what font would enable you to get to the page limit that you needed to get to. Now this is the reason you're playing that game, by the way, is because Times New Roman, which is the default font, which I basically avoid at all costs every time, it's made for newspapers, which means that it's designed so that the characters are nice and condensed, and you can get as much as possible on a page. Well, so I simply argue with. I've gotten around this by doing everything in LaTeX and going simply, look, it's LaTeX. It's gonna get the correct way to format it is whatever LaTeX said was the way to format it, not the way you do it. LaTeX knows better than you. It's a program. It's meant for this. I mean, you gotta say that politer though. It sounds really arrogant when you say it. So that way. But anyway, the Word document is more than so. Anyway, so how do we read a Word document? So let's go ahead and exit out of this terminal and cd into my desktop. I'm going to head to where my files are, which is the Automate online materials, right? So we're going to go ahead and boot up Python. I'm going to, I think I can do clear here. Woohoo! All right, and Python. And now import docx, right? So now we can say, it's very easy to open these files. Doc is equal to docx, and then in document, you don't have to do any like file wrappers or anything. Demo.docx. Len doc.paragraphs. How many paragraphs does this have? So if I do doc.paragraphs, assuming I can spell it correctly, it gives me a list of paragraph objects, right? So if I go for the first paragraph, or the one at index 0, it tells me that it's a paragraph object. To get the text out of it, I ask the paragraph or the text. Document title, very exciting, right? Let's take a look at this actual file that I'm going with for a guide. Automate online materials. All right. Demo.docx. It's a document title. A plain paragraph with some bold and some italics. Heading, intense quote, first item in an unordered list, first item in an ordered list. Right? So if I go for 1.text, it's going to give me a plain paragraph. If I go for 4, first item in an unordered list. 2, heading, level 1. All of the, so it gives me all, so I'm just getting the text from it, right? Which is kind of useful, just getting plain text from, being able to just get the plain text from a document like that is pretty useful. But also, let's look at this, right? Let's just examine doc.paragraphs1.text. A plain paragraph with some bold and some italic. That's the one that has bolding and italic in it, right? Right, so let's go ahead and see how this runs. So we can ask for the length of how many runs that does it have. 5. For run in doc.paragraphs paragraphs1 dot runs print run dot txt. Oh, yeah. And I've just made a classic switching from Python 1 to Python 2 to Python 3 versus mistake. I forgot to put the parentheses. A plain paragraph with some bold and some italics. So I don't know why it had a why it split like that. But here we get each of the individual runs, which is nice. Okay. And then each of these things also have a they have some attributes. Well, you know, they have styles and things on them. There's also but anyway, so but at least we can get the text here, which is fairly straightforward how to do. To grab the full text from a Word document is actually fairly easy. Let's go ahead and write a Python script that will do that. New Python file word grabber. Okay. Import docx, and let's go ahead and say, yep, we'll give it a file name. So def word grabber doc is equal to docx dot document file name, right? Given this file name, I'll get the document. For paragraph in doc dot paragraphs, text is equal to let's see, text is equal to, we can just put each paragraph in a list. Text dot append paragraph dot text. See if I do that. And then if we want to return, and then it says, hey, then we can just return like a list of each pair, you know, a list that has a string that represents each paragraph. Or we could return, yeah, so we'll go ahead and return text. Copy this over into here. Okay. Word grabber doc demo doc. Right? Print. Boom. Boom. Let's go ahead and run this. So document title, plain paragraph, some text, heading level 1, intense quote. Right? It grabbed all the text like that. That's pretty cool. And now if I wanted to actually like instead have a like this. Turn into one string, split by new lines. I can do new line dot join to join, use the new line to join it all together. And here I've got all the text of this Word document just already ready to go, which is pretty nice. Or if I, so that's pretty cool. Now what's great about, what's another thing about this is that you can look at the styling objects, right? So if you go to your view, it says, and I never use Word again because it's view, let's see, where's styles? Pages, let's see, view.styles, Control Shift, Alt Shift S. There we go, styles. Each of these paragraphs has a style, like intense quote has a style to it. Heading has a style to it. Document title has a title style. Normal has a style. Right, this is normal text, it's just bolded. Right, so if I open this up, again, we're dealing with this file. I can do, if I go with doc.paragraph 1 dot runs dot style, it'll give me, hey, you've got this style object there. Well, what does that style object actually mean? So Word documents have 3 types of styles: paragraphs that are on paragraph objects. You've got characters that are styles that are applied to runs, and then you have linked styles, which can be done on both. So there's a bunch of default styles for words, but honestly, unless you're actually, if you're going to be manipulating styles, right, like this, there's a reason Word exists. It's a what you see is what you get editor, right? So it's better to be doing this kind of stuff inside of Word, unless you need to like really do some kind of mass application that's automated, in which case you've got the ability to do this. Okay. You can also write Word documents, right? You can add a paragraph here. So let's go ahead and do just show you doc.add underscore paragraph. Hi, I'm hacking your doc file, noob. Right? Not too exciting there. And then I do doc.save. And then I can overwrite demo.docx. Nope, can't overwrite it. Why? Because it's already open. It's already open, so save it as demo 1. Let's go ahead and check out demo 1. Right? And it's there. And you can apply styling to that way if we wanted to. It's not really too exciting, right? But you can add that into that. There's really not too much, but there basically is a Python library for working with text files. It's not too exciting. Doesn't need to be exciting. Word files are much easier to deal with than Excel files, because Excel files you typically have to deal with a lot of data. And if you're going to be doing formatting, it's generally better to actually be doing the Word. If you're actually interested in using like code to create like files and PDFs, use LaTeX. Right? So HTML even. Right? There's a document, Word, as much as I malign Word, it is a good tool for what it's meant to do, which is what you see is what you get. All right. But if you find yourself, unrelated advice, if you find yourself messing with like settings and stuff, just stop, open up Notepad, and just start typing in there, right? Then eventually when you're done, you can copy it and paste it, and then you're just going to be too tired to care at that point, right? All right, so I'm going to let you guys work on the new homework assignment.